Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, died in 2019 while awaiting trial for federal sex trafficking charges. Since then, thousands of court documents have been unsealed, particularly in 2024. A lot of the emails can be found on this link, https://gmail.world, along with attach the full forms to code language. This collection includes depositions, flight logs, emails, and most importantly, victim testimonies on justice.gov. This video highlights statements made by victims as recorded in public records. We'll examine key remarks from Virginia Giuffre, Johanna Sjoberg, Annie Farmer, and several Jane Does. All information is drawn from unsealed court filings and trial records. There is no speculation here, only factual information. Timeline animation from 2005 to 2019 will display blurred headlines from the Palm Beach police report and clips from a 2008 plea deal. The investigation into Epstein began in 2005, focusing on his abuse of underage girls. Victims shared that he paid them for sexual massages starting at the age of 14. In 2008, Epstein received a controversial non-prosecution agreement, serving only 13 months with work release. Unfortunately, many early victim statements remained sealed or limited. Public testimony surged in 2015 when Virginia Giuffre filed a defamation lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. Giuffre claimed she was trafficked by both Epstein and Maxwell from the age of 17. Virginia Giuffre, one of the most notable survivors, provided thorough testimony through depositions and affidavits. She stated that Maxwell recruited her at the age of 16 while she worked at Mar-a-Lago in 1999. Giuffre recounted being groomed for sexual encounters with Epstein and being introduced to influential men. In her statements from 2015-2016, she alleged sexual abuse by Epstein, Maxwell, and others, including Prince Andrew, whom she claimed she was instructed to have sex with 3 times. Giuffre also stated that she was compensated for recruiting other girls. She mentioned how Epstein and Maxwell used promises of money, modeling prospects, and travel to entice minors. In 2022, Prince Andrew settled a civil lawsuit with Giuffre for an undisclosed sum while denying any wrongdoing. Giuffre's testimony fills hundreds of pages within the unsealed documents. Johanna Sjoberg, another accuser, provided a deposition in 2016, recently unsealed in 2024. She became a masseuse for Epstein in around 2001. Sjoberg testified that Epstein remarked, "Clinton likes them young," when referring to girls. Although she never witnessed Clinton partake in any illegal activities, she flew on Epstein's plane multiple times. Sjoberg also described an occasion when Epstein took her to a casino, claiming he could make money appear. She alleged inappropriate touching by both Epstein and Maxwell, but stated she was not trafficked to others. Annie Farmer testified during Maxwell's 2021 trial. She recounted being invited by Maxwell and Epstein to Epstein's New Mexico ranch in 1996 at the age of 16, under the guise of career assistance. Farmer accused Maxwell of giving her an inappropriate massage and stated she was abused by Epstein. She was one of 4 victims who testified at the trial that resulted in Maxwell's conviction on 5 charges. Other Jane Does, in the unsealed documents, shared similar experiences, being recruited as teenagers with promises of money or opportunities, then coerced into sexual acts with Epstein and sometimes others. Many noted Maxwell played a significant role in grooming and arranging encounters. Victims stressed their status as minors from vulnerable backgrounds. Throughout Maxwell's trial and sentencing, multiple victims delivered impact statements. They described enduring trauma, anxiety, depression, and loss of trust. One victim stated that Epstein and Maxwell had stolen her childhood. Another claimed the abuse had affected every subsequent relationship. The 2024 unsealed documents redacted some victim names, but aligned with earlier accounts of trafficking, grooming, and abuse at Epstein's residences in New York, Florida, New Mexico, Paris, and Little St. James Island. While no new criminal charges stem from the 2024 release, civil lawsuits persist. Respect to survivors. The Epstein case encompasses tragic victim testimonies and systemic failures. Hundreds of pages remain sealed to safeguard survivors. These documents reveal consistent patterns of abuse, power, and exploitation, thus far without a comprehensive public client list. Always consult court sources for facts. We express gratitude to the survivors who dared to speak out. Please like and subscribe for more factual content. Share what surprised you the most. Virginia Giuffre's allegations against powerful figures highlighted the vast network surrounding Epstein. Years of silence shattered as victims bravely shared their traumatic experiences. Giuffre recalled moments of manipulation and coercion, demonstrating that Epstein's influence reached numerous elites. The testimonies exposed the systemic exploitation of vulnerable young women, often enticed by false pretenses of fame and fortune. Giuffre emerged as a voice of resilience, demanding justice not only for herself, but for countless others who suffered quietly. In contrast, Johanna Sjoberg shared her haunting experience, shedding light on the grim reality faced by many victims. During her deposition, she vividly depicted an atmosphere of fear and manipulation entrenched in Epstein's operations. She described unsettling moments when Epstein boasted about powerful connections, projecting an image of invulnerability. Sjoberg expressed feeling trapped, as if speaking out would doom her, mirroring the silence imposed upon many others. Virginia Giuffre's statements proved essential in exposing Epstein's entrenched hierarchy of power. She revealed how Epstein used his wealth to manipulate girls while tapping into influential networks, including public figures. Alongside other survivors like Annie Farmer, who unveiled predatory tactics, these testimonies heightened the demand for accountability. Their voices created a momentum that reignited discussions about sexual abuse and institutional complicity. Despite immense hurdles, these survivors emerged as advocates for change, inspiring others to confront their pasts and pursue justice. Annie Farmer's testimony at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial highlighted broader abuse patterns in Epstein's sphere. During her compelling statements, Farmer depicted the manipulative methods used to draw her into false security. She articulated how her opportunities were masked as kindness, veiling sinister intentions behind hospitality. The emotional scars left by manipulation lingered long after the abuse. Her courage in addressing such trauma provided a voice to those still hidden in the shadows, empowering others to reclaim narratives and pursue justice. As revelations unfolded, the urgency for accountability became more palpable, marking a shift in societal responses. The heart-wrenching impact statements delivered during the trials illustrated enduring scars from Epstein and Maxwell's actions. Each survivor powerfully conveyed how their experiences had irrevocably changed their lives. One victim described the abuse as having left her in constant fear and distrust, as if her essence had been taken. These brave assertions emerged as a clarion call for justice, illuminating not just personal wounds, but a collective yearning to dismantle the enduring cycle of systemic abuse. In summation, the testimonies of these courageous survivors shed light on the lasting impact of Epstein's predatory actions and the systemic failures that enabled such behaviors. Their narratives, defined by resilience, resonate as essential calls for accountability and reform, ensuring victims are acknowledged and justice relentlessly pursued. Key recent developments. January 30th, February 10th, 2026. On January 30th, 2026, the U.S. Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of Epstein-related documents under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. This enormous compilation includes emails, text messages, photos, videos, over 2,000, and investigative records from various sources related to the Florida, New York cases, Maxwell's trial, and Epstein's death investigation. Although it is the largest single release thus far, the DOJ missed the initial December 2025 deadline and had to issue a rolling release due to the vast volume and necessary redactions for victim privacy. No definitive client list or blackmail ledger was disclosed, with the FBI confirming no such list exists in their files, consistent with internal reviews from 2024 to 2025. Beginning February 9 to 10, 2026, a select group of lawmakers accessed unredacted versions of these files. Representatives Ro Khanna, D., and Thomas Massey era asserted they identified at least 6 redacted names in public versions that seemed likely incriminated based on context, including a senior foreign government official and other notable public figures. They criticized the improper redactions and delays. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted associate, invoked her Fifth Amendment rights during a closed-door House Oversight Committee deposition on February 9-10, refusing to respond to questions. In February 2026, media reports noted references to figures like Bill Clinton, who took multiple flights but has no wrongdoing alleged in the documents. Donald Trump, mentioned in some contexts, with no new criminal ties. Elon Musk and Bill Gates, among others, mentioned in emails and logs, primarily related to social or business ties, with no direct accusations in the recent batch. Concerns were raised regarding incomplete redactions, including victims' names that were accidentally left unredacted, leading to calls for increased transparency. No new criminal charges or shocking revelations emerged from this release. The focus remains on historical connections and investigative records rather than fresh evidence. Current status, as of February 10, 2026, the January 30th release is the latest significant public disclosure. Ongoing congressional scrutiny continues, involving potential further reviews or depositions and persistent advocacy from survivors, such as calls for full unredacted access. There are no confirmed new document releases scheduled shortly after February 10th, yet the topic remains highly active in news and public discourse. Stay curious, Curious Corner.